What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope all is good wherever you are. In this video, we're going to watch Candace Owens debate a leftist feminist. It's a bit of an older clip, but everything that they talk about, because I did the reaction before doing the intro, is still relevant today. Let's get to it.
The other side to the issue is the fact that Republican women want to be deemed feminists, and they want to have the same kind of clout as women on the left who are actually advocating for policies that help women, whereas the policies out of this administration actually hurt them, like refusing to raise.
Women that work for the president, they wouldn't say that. They would say actually the opposite. They would say that we believe in these issues and we feel like they help women.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, but the statistics don't lie. We know that if you raise the minimum wage, 2/3 of people in this country on the minimum wage are women. They need that help. We know that there is assault on women's health care rights from this administration, things like that.
Jess, please, I hate this selective feminism that we hear on the left all the time, okay? Well, don't make this a feminism issue, because it's not a feminism issue.
But it is,
when you're going out and attacking women, you're not, I'm not done, okay? When you're going out and attacking women, you are not a feminist. This is not defensible whatsoever. And you sit here and you say this because you care about mothers. The basis of this is that people are upset that illegal immigrants are being separated from their mothers. Why don't you refocus some of that energy to the black community? They've been having their families separated. In fact, it's subsidized in the black community. You appreciate single motherhood. You are giving more money to families for fatherless absence. So all of this selective fake outrage, when you guys do not have the same defenses for the black community, is really lost on me. And it's time's up on this altogether. I think the black community has had enough of you guys being selectively outraged for parents of illegal immigrants, but not for the parents of the black community who have been separated from their family for about 6 decades.
All right, so I have 2 things I want to say about that first part. Number one, I'll tackle what that lady on the left said about the minimum wage. She's correct in the sense that there are more women making minimum wage than men in the United States and Canada, but raising the minimum wage is not the way to go. You're going to inflate the cost of goods, and people are just going to have their jobs cut. They're going to get replaced by automation. Look at fast food places. How many screens are at McDonald's now for you to order? More than there are humans. Some of them are actually fully automated, like in Asia. You can replace people now with machines. Raising the minimum wage will just force employers to go that route. For example, our businesses, we hire people. I have one business where I hire a graphic designer. Now, I could easily replace this person and pay less for somebody that runs Midjourney all day, but I don't, because you don't want to cut down the least paid person on your payroll just to save a few bucks. But if I had to constantly have to pay this person more, I could get one coder, one person to run AI, run Midjourney in this case, and I could replace probably 2 people. And that's all that's going to happen with these companies in the U.S. Raising the minimum wage ain't the way to go. Now, what Candace said about the black community, I think is on point. The left, they like to focus on a lot of issues that have nothing to do with North America. Now, we give money to the Ukraine. We give money to what's going on in the sandbox in the Middle East, where we have a homeless issue. Have you driven in the roads in North America? It looks like a war-torn country. We have an opioid crisis. We have declining health care. There's lots of places that we can spend money versus spending it on immigration and reuniting immigrants with their fathers, what that lady was saying on the left there. Which, look, it's a sad case, but we have to take care of our own countries. And in the United States of America, the reason that you have more women homeowners now than you've ever had in history is because women are rewarded to break up the family home. The laws are against men. I'm not saying women don't work and some women don't own their own houses, but you could look this up. There's so many women that have a house because they got it through a divorce. They get alimony. They get child support. They're rewarded for breaking up the family home, which leads to more fatherless homes, which leads to more kids dropping out of high school, being incarcerated. It's just a vicious, vicious cycle. Let's get back to the video.
I just want to point out, ladies, let's keep this civil. As I opened up this segment, there is already so much hate, indecency in this country. So let's just keep this debate a debate and keep it civil. Jessica, your response.
I believe I was keeping it civil, and then Candace told me that I wasn't a feminist. I also believe that Candace doesn't speak for the entire.
You weren't. I said the left. I said the left. I didn't say you, Jessica. So don't make it personal. I said the left. It's selective feminism on the left that we're seeing.
Candace the dog, man.
I disagree with you, and I'm going to do that politely. I'm going to return to my original argument, which is that we have heard this for years, that Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and all the women who work for this president and support his agenda aren't getting their due. They're not getting their due from the feminist community because they're advocating for policies that hurt women, that keep them in a bad economic position, that don't allow them to live equally in this society.
Can I deny the wage.
Yes,
same for the black women.
Same for black women in this society. Do you think that Kirstjen Nielsen should be harassed because of her position and because what is going on with immigration? Do you think because of that she deserves to be treated the way that she does? She was essentially forced out of a Mexican restaurant, protesters in there. You may disagree with her, but do you think the way she's been treated is fair?
I think that what Kirstjen Nielsen did in initially coming out and lying about what this president's policy did, then having to backtrack on it, puts her in a very tenuous position.
That wasn't my question, though.
I think that people should have civil conversations about it and certainly have every right as a public official to come up to her table and to call her out on her lies and this administration's lies. If she wants to leave because of it, that's on her.
Right.
But she should be open to that dialogue with the American public who is dissatisfied.
Candace, very quickly,
this is a very slippery slope. The left should stop this, because then you're basically saying that in the future this is going to be allowed in administrations that you do support. And as I said, the selective outrage for illegal families, when this has been going on in the black community, no one talks about the fathers that are separated, the fathers that are behind bars, the fathers that are buried on the south side of Chicago and in Baltimore. So again, this is completely, to me, seems like fake outrage, and I don't support it whatsoever.
Candace, that's why President Obama
we're going to have to leave
had his father's program.
Yes, it was Obama's administration that sanctioned those programs.
Candace and Jessica, we will leave the debate right there.
Thanks, Abby.
Have a good Sunday, both of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right. Oof.
Now, I realize that this video is a little bit older, but it doesn't change the fact that these feminists on the left are still advocating for gender pay equality, which we've proven that the gender pay gap does not exist. These leftist feminists, they want equity. They want equality of outcome, but they don't really want to put in the work. Like, we have equality of opportunity. The reason that a lot of women don't get paid as much is because they choose careers that just don't get paid as much. And I have some stats that I'm going to show you here in a second. But let's face it, they want to be represented at the high levels of these Fortune 500 companies. We're talking about the CEO jobs, right? They don't want to be represented at 50% as the welders or the guys working the sewers, the roofers, the landscapers, the bricklayers, all those manual labor jobs. No, they want equity in the high-end positions. That's what they're advocating for. Just for comparison's sake, I'm going to read you a few statistics about men. Men have a higher rate of suicide. 70% of the homeless are men. 75% of the murder victims are men. 93% of prisoners are men. 92% of work-related deaths are men. Men receive harsher punishment than women for the same crimes. Divorce court favors men. Paternity court favors women. Only men are the victims of paternity fraud. Men are also more likely to work outdoors, to work in harsh conditions, and that is why a lot of this, pay gap happens. Men choose careers that pay more. Men are higher represented in the STEMs. Women are higher represented in some careers. Psychology, medicine, it's about 50-50. Nurses are 80-20, women to men. But, you look at early childhood education, which is a career that doesn't really pay that much. It's mostly women. And granted, I'm happy about that because I wouldn't want to send my child to a kindergarten with a male teacher. But women choose different things. We're different people. And that's where a lot of this pay gap happens. It's not that we're paid less. It's that women choose careers that don't make as much money. If you want to make more money, increase your earning capacity. Choose a different career path. Have a different skill set. That's all it is. If you ask me personally, I would say that horrible things have happened to both sexes. Men have had to go to war through history. Women haven't. There's a lot of things on both sides, but right now, we live in the best society that's ever lived. You have equality of opportunity. Women can earn as much or more than men in many cases if they choose to. There's no cap on anything, but that one lady mentioning just raising the minimum wage, that helps no one. She's just going to get AI into the workplace faster, cut jobs, more automation, and that's what it is. Hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. If you did, please smash that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel, help it grow, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.